So we talked about 100 days from today until the 2025 NFL season, Hawk. ESPN, they released a long list of things to know. Just like a quick little primer, off-season primer,
All right.
100 days until things you need to know. And I wrote down every time they reference the Dolphins here to share with you, okay?
Sure. Well, based on the amount of work I know that you prefer to do, I'm guessing the Dolphins weren't mentioned.
Correct. So we'll move on to the NBA. Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA.
The WNBA. No, so one of the sections where they were mentioned, 11 jobs with question marks. First one listed under that list, you want to guess who?
I mean, I guess Mike McDaniel?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. And this is what they wrote. I believe two things very strongly. First, McDaniel's work building an offense around Tua Tagovailoa is some of the best offensive scheming in the league. Second, his offense fades against truly great defenses in cold weather and on the road. In short, playoff football. The Dolphins need a strong season from their defense, which could have an extremely inexperienced and shaky secondary following a Jalen Ramsey trade to make a postseason push. Otherwise, it'll be 4 seasons without a playoff victory under Mike McDaniel. That's tough to defend.
About FanDuel, they did the best player on every team.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And I was interested by that because, I mean, who is the best player on the Dolphins?
I saw who they picked, and it's hard to argue against it.
So they picked Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
For the Dolphins. And I guess, so I was racking my brain when I saw it. I'm like, is there a better player on the Dolphins than Tyreek Hill?
And you're not including Liam Eichenberg in this list?
I mean, I would, but they're not. No, in all honesty, I mean, is there a better Dolphin? Is there a better player on the Dolphins than Tyreek Hill? Because I feel, again, he had an off season. There's no question about it. But they've got good players. I love Tua. I like Devon Achane.
No, I mean they've got good players.
Tyreek Hill is the best player on the team.
He's the only superstar on the team.
Yeah.
Right? Jalen Ramsey, we're not including him because he tweeted today 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That means 5 days. 5 days until June 1st, which is when they can trade him without taking the cap hit.
I should have known.
So
I should have known that's what he was doing.
He's as good as gone. Like the thought that they're going to make some, miraculous mending of the ways, because he is a significant loss. I mean, listen, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. That's fine. But the 5 signifies 5 more days and he can be done with the Dolphins.
Hawk, he's probably the only other guy you could argue.
Probably.
And
he's probably the best defender. If you do best defensive player, it's Jalen Ramsey for the next 5 days.
Jalen Ramsey or Zach Sealer?
Zach Sealer banged the drum last night.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. He did bang the drum.
Yeah.
Never let him near that drum ever again.
Drum is off limits, Zach.
It's kind of... I should have the stats in front of me. I don't. But it seems like every time a Dolphins player gets invited to bang the drum, something goes wrong with the Florida Panthers.
But more importantly, why is Jalen Ramsey so excited to get out of here? What is so bad about the Dolphins organization that he's got, a subtle countdown working on social media?
He's on his Twitter fingers right now, waiting to get out of here. Waiting.
What is it that, how could it be so bad with the Dolphins that he just, he can't wait to get out of here?
If it could get to the point where it got with Jimmy Butler in the Heat, then it can get to that point with Jalen Ramsey and the Dolphins. If you really think about it.
But it seems like it went from 0 to 100. Did you have any inclination up until we received word from the Dolphins that they'd mutually agreed to seek a trade?
Not at all. But I will say, if you just extrapolate it out, Hawk, you take away the context and you say you brought a Super Bowl winning corner to Miami. You paid him. And the idea was that he was going to be a part of a team that would be competing, contending for another Super Bowl. He wants to be on that level again. And half the players he came to play with in this offseason are no longer there. And the team's best player quit on the team. And now publicly, everybody knows that there's a lack of leadership in that locker room. It wouldn't surprise me with that context to know that he no longer wants to be here.
Here's the difference, though. A lot of times when players want to leave an organization, they want to go either their hometown or compete for a championship. Jalen Ramsey has no say in where he ends up. They're just looking for the best offer. That's the part that I go, what is so bad about the Dolphins that he's willing to end up where? Cleveland? Like wherever you get the best deal from. Because they're not going to do right by Jalen Ramsey. He's not a lifelong Dolphin who, you're giving him a chance to go win a title at the end. So, like, what is so bad that he's willing to say, get me anywhere? Get me to Jacksonville. Just get me out of Miami. I find it so interesting.
Does he know that the wheels have fallen off the wagon?
Right.
Does he?
Right. That's the thing. I mean, he's a veteran. He might know.
Because Hawk, I've been pretty transparent that I feel like they have already, but everybody that we talk to is saying, no, they're still good enough to win 8-9 games. They're not going to compete, which is my biggest problem with the team, but they're still good enough if Tua stays healthy to win 8-9 games. Why is he running away from that? To potentially go to a worse situation? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But to go back to the ESPN article, 14 intrusive thoughts. And this is what they write. If the Dolphins trade Jalen Ramsey, their starting secondary, get ready for this. Get ready for this. Will be
bring back Brent Grimes.
Well, Omar Kelly's ready for that take. We did like 4 shows on Game Day Uncensored 2 years ago. Omar Kelly
still said he's in great
genuinely
shape.
Saying Brent Grimes would be the best cornerback that the Dolphins had. This is pre Jalen Ramsey, by the way.
Find yourself someone who loves you the way Omar loves Brent and Miko Grimes.
Hey, Xavier Howard, how those hammies feeling, brother? This is what they write. Their starting secondary will be Storm Duck and Cam Smith at outside corner, Kader Kohu in the nickel, and Ashton Davis and Afitu Melifonwu at safety. I'm sorry to say that's an early candidate for worst position group in the NFL.
They have to sign a veteran corner. I think everybody is aware of that. And that, the way you describe it, does seem like a secondary that, I don't know, a guy like Josh Allen may be able to pick apart.
Hawk, would you rather take a puck to the shin or watch a Dolphins defense with the following secondary as their starters next year?
Right.
Cam Smith, Storm Duck, Kader Kohu, and Ashton Davis.
Yeah. I feel like I could play in that secondary.
Good luck, Chris Greer. Good luck, brother.